This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hello, this is Agoro, host of the Agoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. Welcome to episode 145. It's very cool to say that we are that many episodes into this show. We've been having a lot of fun, and we hope you guys are having fun listening. And as always, if you can't get enough of what you are hearing and you want more content from us, you want to dive a little deeper into our personal lives and things that we do outside of the show, go to patreon.com/SteveCrypto. There's a variety of content waiting for you right now. You can pledge as little as $1 a month.
Yeah, that. There's a bunch of stuff over there. I threw some new stuff up. I went to that show last week. That was fucking amazing. The Messer Chups surf band from Russia. They killed it in Bremerton. And I threw a couple short clips up. And they got some pictures and stuff I might put up. I don't know. We'll see. But we got more stuff we got to talk about soon to put up there anyways. But that is patreon.com/SteveCrypto. You can also go follow us both on social media. He's CryptoZoo88. I'm the Steve Strout. We're everywhere. X, Instagram, Facebook, where we also have the group, which just went over 1,000 members in the last couple of days. So that's kind of cool. Just search for Steve and Crypto podcast and the group will pop up, and then join it and then post some cool shit in there. Anything pop culture, nerdy, extra points for horror themed. And if it's cool enough, we might actually hit you up and try to get you on our show, because we're always looking for interesting people to talk to.
That's right. I was gonna say I'm trying to be a little bit more active on Twitter. I've never really liked it that much, but I'm trying to use it more. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter in my mind, but I'm trying to be a little bit more active on there. So if you're actually seeing my posts, let's chat, let's interact.
Yeah, interact with him. He's a good guy to interact with. We've been interacting for 145 episodes now, so obviously he does something right in the interaction field. So yeah, we also have merch.
We actually have a decent amount of merch now, which is
we got a lot of stuff.
Pretty nice to see. If you head over to Etsy/shop/SteveCrypto, you can check it all out right now. There's hoodies, t-shirts, coffee mugs, coasters, there's tote bags, magnets for your fridge. Go check it all out. And I believe we are still having a sale over there, right?
It ends tomorrow, so it ends after this episode will be released. So I'll just start a new one. How about that? I'll start a new sale.
Head over there and check things out and see what you like. It's still a good price, even though it's not on sale.
You go. We're gonna start. I'll start a new sale for you guys. How about that? Anyway, yeah. So those are ways you can support the show, support us. Last episode. Before we talk about that, tell them about the network we're a part of. Before I forget.
Of course, yeah, we are a part of the Deluxe Edition Network, the Den. There are a bunch of shows there, ranging from sports talk, movies, horror, just like us, comedy, all kinds of different things. Murder mystery for those of you that like that. So go to deluxeeditionnetwork.com and you can check out over 20 different podcasts that they have to offer. And they always feature a couple podcasts of the month, usually 2, sometimes 3. But this month for May, our featured podcasts of the month are Barstool Film School and Barrel Aged Chicks. So go check them out and tell them Steve and Crypto sent you.
Should be us, but We're the
We had it
podcast of
last
the
month.
We're the podcast of the month every goddamn month.
We had it for April.
It's not enough for me. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I'm saying the last episode we did our first part of our Crypticon recap. We talked a little bit about friends we ran into and cool people, and I think, wow, feel like so long ago. I don't even remember. This
Yeah.
episode, we have a couple more interviews that we did at the show with one with a comic creator, writer who was there promoting the Gold Key Boris Karloff Mysteries comic that was relaunched, and another interview with somebody who wasn't even supposed to be there. He wasn't even a guest or anything, but he was like a indie actor who's pretty popular in the scene and a cool guy, and I had to get him on the show. So we'll get to those in a little bit. I want to introduce a guest host today. How exciting is that, huh? So we
Yeah.
have Patrick from Mad Bros Media.
What's up, guys?
What's happening, dude?
Hey.
Not much. Glad to be here.
Mad Bros Media is a YouTube and social media channel that covers like stuff we do, pop culture events, some horror stuff, and they're like the main media guys for Crypticon. So if you get on their channel, which will have Pat plug, they have a ton of videos and clips and interviews with like Barbara Crampton and names are
Our
slipping my
Crampton,
mind
Zach
right now.
Galligan.
There you go.
There's a little clip on TikTok for Jeffrey Jones, also on the Crypticon's YouTube page. A lot of the stuff for
Jeff Combs,
Crypticon,
right?
just go to their YouTube page. I put it on there every year. I put interviews and montages and just little things here and there. One of the main things is the Iron Man contest. Look for that too. It's an art contest.
Oh, cool.
What was that about, that Iron Man thing? Why was it the Iron Man contest?
I think it was started by Nick the Hat Gucker. I don't know who you guys know who that is.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
one of the artists. I guess he started that. And so every year they have that. It basically is it's a bunch of volunteer artists, and they choose a subject, and they have like within 45 minutes to draw a subject. Like this year was serial killers on their day off. And last year was gremlin pinups. So
Nice.
it was really, really interesting to see them put everything together at the end. Because you never know what they're going to put together. You go to table by table and to see the like the beginning of what they're putting on, and then when they're done, it's just like, oh, that's what they put together.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
do we know, or did you guys get any footage or shots or anything of the winning art or any of the
Yes,
finished products?
I when I go and shoot it, I shoot the whole thing, and then I got the winners. I couldn't tell you right on because I haven't seen the footage yet, and I don't remember her name. But the female, the girl that won this year won last year, so she's like
Oh wow,
won 2 years in a row.
nice.
And
nice.
when I post it, I will post her name, and I'll send you so you'll know who it is. I know the face, I just don't know the name.
Right. There's a lot of that at Crypticon. Everybody's so familiar and
she has her
that.
own booth. She had her own booth at the second vendor, not the main vendor room, but the second vendor room. As you walk in, she's right there. She was dressed like a gargoyle.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How did I miss that?
I was only there on Sunday. I don't know if she was there, but
She was there. She was there all weekend because, like I said, she had a booth.
Man,
And
how
she
did I
had her
miss the
little
gargoyle?
she had her little awards there, and she had her drawing there. I think she got some reprints of her drawings from last year she was selling. Because she sells her art too.
Cool.
So before we talk too much more, plug the channel where people find all this.
Well, the main channel for Mad Bros is on YouTube, but we're all over social media. We're on TikTok, X, Facebook. What's another?
It's all of them.
Yeah, it's
MySpace.
all over. I'm trying to think. There's another one. There's enough VMO.
MySpace, yeah.
VMO
Yep.
actually has some stuff that's not on any of the other channels. It's like a rare channel to have the rarity stuff that we have, like rare interviews or lost footage, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah,
We
I
don't have
mean,
a-
I
we used to have a full site, but it was too much too. So our main site would be on YouTube. So you just go to YouTube and type in Mad Bros Media.
I think YouTube is one of the best ways to get it out there these days anyway. I mean, I don't even come home and turn on other apps half the time. I just go straight to YouTube and see what's available.
And the good thing now is with streaming, they have their own channel, so you can just go and watch it on your TV. If you can stream, you can just go to YouTube and watch everything that's on YouTube. That's what I do every night. I go on and just flip, 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 and if there's no good movies on the other streaming chat, nothing good on Disney Plus, nothing good on Paramount Plus, I go to YouTube.
And it's convenient when you know you're just going to fall asleep anyway. Like, I'm not even going to bother putting on a movie or figuring out what I'm going to watch. Like, let me just put on a 10-minute clip on YouTube and I'll be out before it even ends.
You know, at 10 minutes might be a clip to us, but to these kids nowadays, that's like an eternity. Like 10 minutes. That's too long. I'm going to TikTok. But you guys are on TikTok too, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I don't remember if you mentioned
TikTok.
that or not.
Each social media has something different. TikTok has shorter clips of what we have longer on YouTube.
Right. Like little trailers for each video. That's cool. So let's just talk about Crypticon, man. What were some of your highlights, Pat?
Well, meeting Billy Zane, even though he was a little cranky. I always point out, okay, there's in the midst of all these celebrities, there's going to be an a-hole in one of the celebrities. Now, Billy wasn't really an a-hole, but he was pretty cranky. So, but I got to meet him, and he was nice to me. But I saw that he was a little cranky with some other people. Barbara Crampton was really nice. The one who was really super nice was Millie Shapiro. She was a sweetheart. In fact, her interview with us is on YouTube right now. So if you guys get a chance, go to our channel and check out her interview. She was the little girl in Hereditary.
Right. We were talking about that at the show. I still didn't get to watch it. Did you watch Hereditary, Caleb?
No, I have never seen that.
Oh,
It's a good movie. It's kind of weird, but it is horror. It's a horror style. It's kind of more like a Hitchcock suspense horror.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, weird's what we do. So down with weird.
And then, of course, Zach Galligan and Joe Dante.
Oh yeah,
because this is the 30th anniversary of 30th anniversary or 40th anniversary of Gremlins. It's 30th 40th anniversary. Okay, 40th anniversary of Gremlins.
84, yeah.
Yeah, the 40th anniversary of Gremlins. Wow.
Yeah. Zach was telling us when we talked to him that it had been 16 years until since him and Joe were both at a convention together. So kind of a big deal. I talked to Zach and got a photo signed from him, and of course I only went on Sunday, and so I kind of expected some of the celebrity guests to maybe be a little bit tired, and I wouldn't say he was cranky, but he was tired. I could tell. But we got a pretty good chat out of him on our show, so I didn't even sweat it.
Oh yeah, he's super nice, and he has a lot of great stories to tell.
Yeah.
In fact, my brother was sitting with him. He was working with the CCon this year, and he got to the chance to sit with Billy, and Billy just told him a bunch of stories.
That's awesome.
Some of them kind of X-rated, but
yeah, there's some
can't repeat them on this show.
Right.
I know we heard a little. I mean, we could say what we want on this show, but I'd rather not air his
dirty laundry.
Yeah, that he might not want out there. But yeah, I know when we're hanging out for a bit, and David was telling you some of the stories, and we're hanging out up at my hotel room.
Yeah,
and he was kind of talking some of the stories, and it sounds like he was Zach Galligan had a good time when he was a young movie star. That's for sure.
To keep it PG.
Yeah. And another fun fact about Zach, he's a big Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
He used to go to a bar in New York that was actually a Seahawks bar. And he was last time we talked to him when he was last at Crypticon, he was talking about it. He said it's awesome. I mean, I don't know about now, but he said he doesn't live in New York anymore. But he said when he was in New York, there was a Seahawks bar. It was really cool. If you're a Seahawks fan.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm just not a football fan, so either
Yeah.
way, it doesn't really matter for me. But
Oh,
hey, that's cool that they had a Seahawk bar in New York.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of bigger cities will have like spots where you could go. Like I'm sure you go in Seattle, you could probably find a bar that'll be running like European soccer games. You know what I mean? So you could go see your team and just everything. It's crazy. And like here, once you get outside of our county here, it's like a different world. We're kind of out here in the backwoods, redneck bullshit.
Out in the
Yeah.
boonies.
Nothing happening. The boonies, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't shit happening out here. It all sounds like it's all starting to happen in Tacoma now.
Oh, a
You guys
little
got a lot
bit,
of
but
cool
you
stuff
know, it's
happening,
still
man.
there's still a lot of happenings in Seattle and Portland.
Yeah, a lot of crackheads and
But I guess the place now is Richfield because that's where the In-N-Out Burger is going to be, and
Oh
there's
yeah.
a casino that does host. There's a casino that just hosted a free concert with Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons opened up a rock and roll restaurant out there, and he
Yeah.
gave a free concert, and he was signing for free.
You
Wow.
guys go?
Like where were all of us when that happened?
Oh, you
We
guys
missed
didn't
that.
go? I knew it was happening.
Yeah, I did
just
too, but I couldn't go out
care
there.
enough.
Yeah.
I didn't care enough. I mean, it was probably cool. I mean,
Well,
lucky people I got to go.
what I heard was everything was free. They were giving like some free food, and then he was signing there for
Yeah.
free, taking pictures for free. And then, like I said, they had a free concert, and one of the other members of Kiss, Tommy Thayer, was there too, and he played with Gene Simmons' band. Gene Simmons had his own band, so it was
wow.
kind of like a mini Kiss reunion, but it wasn't really because you
Yeah,
still
yeah.
need Paul.
Yeah. But that's cool, man. That's cool that they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess last I heard is he bought property out near Mount Rainier somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
near
yeah?
Yelp.
I'm sure.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
but I don't know because he didn't want to live in L.A. anymore or Hollywood.
Taxes and shit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess when you make that much money, it's a lot of taxes. So I wouldn't know. I don't make.
Yeah, we don't make.
Dude makes. He probably makes my yearly salary in like 3 minutes. So
Yeah,
did
it's
you
crazy when you find out how much money some of these rock stars make for each show.
but then you look like their homes cost stupid amounts, and their cost of living is ridiculous. And I mean, they do well, but shit's still expensive for their asses.
Yeah.
Anyways, Crypticon.
Yes.
Crypticon.
Did you guys get to meet the nun, Bonnie
No.
Aarons?
No.
I didn't.
Well,
Honestly,
I'm glad. It's a good thing you didn't because I heard she was very rude to her fans as well. And she
Really?
is scary. She is scarier than the makeup they put on her.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, words travel, so we'll see if she is back at Crypticon or not in the
Well,
future.
I heard a rumor that she won't be.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get to meet her, then you might have to go to another con if you want to.
Well, I
It's
think I'm
okay.
okay.
No.
I met all the people I wanted to meet.
Yeah.
I met Barbara. I met Jeff.
Good to say hi to Ken too. Ken Fora we've had. I don't know if you guys had Ken Fora. Ken Fora is a gentle giant, man. He's so cool to talk to.
He's a cool dude. I got to chat with him a little bit. And I'd met him in the past too, so it was cool. He got some cool projects coming out. I don't remember if we mentioned in the last episode that he's working on a comic book.
We did.
But they're launching a campaign for that. So I'm going to connect with him then and see if he wants to pop in and hype it up a little bit on the show. But I'm not going to hold my breath, but he's told me no before to an interview. So.
And then there was the infamous Jeffrey Combs. You guys get to talk
He
to
was
him.
awesome.
I did
I
not.
talked with him.
Jeffrey,
a
when
bit.
Jeffrey's here, he's always awesome.
I talked with
Steve
him a
Lang
bit.
called him cuddly.
We had a. I have a friend here that worked on Bride of Reanimator and showed me some photos with like him and Jeffrey way back 1,000 years ago when they made that movie, and he like showed me his cool little like crew jacket. Like the whole crew got these cool jackets and stuff, and it was pretty cool. So I went by and showed Jeff some pictures, and he was pretty stoked about that. Thought it was pretty cool. So, man, his allergies. You guys have allergy issues?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
First time in a long time that I'm using Claritin.
Yeah, I need to break it out. I think it's time. I fight it as long as I can until
Every time it's people start mowing their lawns is when I have to shut the windows, and yeah, I don't do well with pollen.
I don't know. I'm sitting here talking.
Yeah, it's all
and
over
I'm
my
feeling,
car.
I'm here
Yeah.
talking, and I'm feeling my voice like go nutty, like oh, it just feels weird. But
Yeah.
Crypticon, the Adams family.
Well, there
I
was the
know
parents of the Adams family were there. The daughters
the
were there.
whole
Lulu wasn't
the
there
whole
this
family
year.
wasn't there, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Toby and John were there.
Yeah.
They did a really cool screening of Hellbender. And you could stop me if we already talked about this last time, but I don't think we did.
I don't
I think
think
I
so.
kind of saved mentioning this. They did a screening. I believe it was Saturday night, and they did it with live mics so they could do like commentary over the movie. And you guys both have interacted with John, and he's a funny motherfucker.
Yeah, he
So
is.
you can just imagine how hilarious. Like it was like the director commentary tracks on like a Blu-ray, but
Mhm.
funny, but fucking hilarious. It was just nonstop. He just so like witty and quick. Like they should, whenever they do conventions, they should do this. I think it would be like a hit. Like this is something that I think those guys could actually tour, like tour to theaters and make money doing it.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Hellbender. Some of the practical effects. It's like, wow, for like a low budget movie, the practical effects were actually pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they
I
look
haven't seen the
good.
new movie. Yeah,
He was
I've only seen Hellbender.
he was talking a bunch about like when they were doing the effects, like how he did it, and he's like,
Mhm.
he was just talking about like more chocolate syrup, more fish in line, more this, more that.
Yeah.
Like it was just hilarious, but it was cool and like informative. So like I really hope they do it again. They should make it a thing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Hellbender. Of course I just watched it at home, but I just to let Pat know, they told Steve and I some things privately about like some filming and where things may or may not have been filmed. It was kind of cool to hear some behind the scenes
Mhm.
details on that.
Well,
And I'll
he
tell
did
you more when we stop recording.
he did bring it up. No, during that thing, during their live commentary thing,
Oh, well maybe it's free game then.
he mentioned like he was like, yeah, that was filmed at Fort Worden and Port Townsend.
Okay.
Unless there's a park ranger here, then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And if there's any park rangers listening to this right now, they have never filmed
yeah,
inside
change
the
the
park
channel.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of independent directors direct movies secretly where they
Oh,
can
yeah.
get away with it. I mean, like
You have to.
Cameron shot Terminator like independently and secretly. I mean, him and Schwarzenegger were walking down the street, and all of a sudden, Cameron says, "Punch this window in this car," and then Schwarzenegger did it, not knowing that that car wasn't even anybody. It wasn't a prop car; it was a real car in the street parked.
Oops. And then they just left it.
Yeah,
That's funny. That's crazy. I never heard that story. That's good.
Yeah. Actually, Schwarzenegger was the one who said,
Hey, did you get a chance to talk to Quinn Lord from Trick or Treat?
no, I did. I saw him for a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him because we were in a whirlwind where it's like, okay, we're going to interview this person, this person. Then we like turn around, there was somebody. So we go to the next person. And then we come back, they're gone or they're in a panel. So it was like, you had to be there at the right moment to get a chat with them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
What
He was cool.
what's probably your favorite stuff to film at Crypticon? Is it
Well,
like chatting with the celebrities or like shooting like the hearses or costume stuff?
I like shooting everything, but here's the thing. I would shoot the panels for the past 3, 4 years. I've just been shooting the panels. So I missed everything that's in the vendor room. This year, I shot everything in the vendor room. So when it came to shoot a panel, I said, okay, I'm going to do Billy's panel. I had everything all set up right in the front row. And then one of the moderators said, oh, Billy doesn't want to be filmed. He doesn't want. I was like, oh. So I took off. I was like, if he's not going to let anybody film or take pictures, like, well, why am I here? I can go back and film more stuff in the vendor room.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But
that must
the
have been
vendor room, to me this year, the vendor rooms were very interesting. But the most exciting thing that I was happy to film was Saphira. I've
Oh
missed
yeah.
Saphira for the past 2 times she's been there. And so this year I was excited. I got a lot of footage of her. Well, you'll see when I put the montage together, there's a lot of footage of her. And outside with her in the
sliders. Yeah.
the sliders, yeah, the Northwest
Yeah.
Possessed, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's crazy how big of a hit she is at the show. Like, I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
She
get
was
it's a big
definitely
kind of a monster, but
She bugged her.
it's just
She went into every celebrity, and
they loved it.
McHattie wasn't happy with her. He hit her. He hit her in the head with his hat. I've got that on footage too.
Yeah,
He wasn't happy with her.
he seemed like he
Huh.
wasn't really that happy anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't. You know, he was in
Who?
the corner. Shane McHattie, was that the name?
So I
Oh,
think it's Stephen McHattie.
Or
Steve
Stephen McHattie? Yeah,
See
okay.
something. See, that's the
yeah.
thing. Who? Yeah, I'm not familiar. Like, I know his face, but I ain't really. He's one of those
Watchmen.
faces. Like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
that guy.
And
That guy.
he was
That
also
guy.
in a
Yeah.
handful of episodes on Seinfeld. He was like the nice doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
He's one of those familiar faces, but you don't remember his name.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Crypticon has some of those every year. There's
Yeah,
at
I
least
mean,
one or two where like you're looking at them, then you look up at the banner and you're like, oh, you're that character.
guy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, they
we
can't afford all top notch guests. Like, I
yeah.
mean, it's still a small show.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I was talking to Jennifer. I was talking to David and Jennifer about this the other day. It's like they need to get some more different. I mean, I love seeing Steven. I love seeing Ken, but they need to bring some fresh guests. You know,
Maybe somebody that would attract a younger
I know they
audience.
have a list of who they can bring. I
Yeah.
know that what is it, the Full Empire Promotions, they just added Patricia Arquette and Mara Sorvino.
Oh, okay.
So those are two they can bring.
Right.
The cast of Monster Squad, they have all the cast of the Monster Squad in their as their clients. They should bring a whole cast and have a reunion.
Yeah.
You know, I met one of them recently.
Oh yeah? Which one did you
Yeah.
meet?
I met Rudy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And not at a convention, but
Oh really?
just in the wild.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So,
Was she visiting?
yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We chatted for a little bit and he found out I was a horror fan and then he was like, "Oh, have you seen Monster Squad?" I said I think so, but it's been a while and
Yeah.
then he mentioned who he was and then I watched it that night after we talked and yeah, it was a good refresher because I mean I probably haven't watched that in 20 years.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
And they have pretty much the whole cast, even the guy who played Dracula.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
The only
mean, that'd be a
the
good
only one
photo
who's
op.
the only one who's sadly not with us is the character who played Horace.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
kid died young. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
died young.
Yeah. Did you watch that documentary about Monster Squad?
I have not.
I
It's
saw it.
called
It was good.
Wolfman Got Nards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it.
The lead actor had a heart attack. The lead kid.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He survived though, but yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, he's like almost my age and he had a heart attack.
Yeah, people are dropping young, man. Dropping young. Don't want to get old.
So
Yeah.
who would you want to see come to Crypticon next year? I'm going to get a pool going to see if some of these people that I want come and actually come.
I can tell you the first person
You
that
go
came to
first.
mind right now, and they're not too far away. From what I know, they're about one state over, and that would be Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
think
he'd
they
be
tried Bruce Campbell before, but he's kind of pricey.
I bet he is.
Yeah. What about you,
Oh,
Steve?
man. Me? Well, I've met a lot of people that I've wanted to meet. I'm gonna go and surprise, maybe not Caleb. I'm gonna say Svengoolie.
Ooh, you know that I heard a rumor that he was supposed to come last year,
Oh,
but
cool.
there was a tight schedule because he was at San Diego.
Mm.
I don't know if he was. I think he went to New York last year. I don't think he
But
went. to
he
San
was
Diego.
also at San Diego, but I missed it. We had just missed him.
Sure. I follow him
But-
pretty religiously. I don't think he went to San Diego. I think he went to New York to hype the
Oh,
new
yeah.
comic. But either way, he should come here. But it's hard with their scheduling and stuff because having I've interacted with him and correspond with him a bit, and
Yeah, he'd be a
I'm sure
great
he'd
guest.
like to, but it's just their
He
filming
may
schedules.
he may
he's
come to
old.
that ElviraCon.
Mm.
Who knows? We haven't
Let's
heard.
not talk about
We
that
will.
con.
I know we won't talk about that now. But
We'll talk about that when it happens. When they
Okay.
invite us all to
well,
be there
June will be the big announcements.
Okay.
for that
But
show.
I'll tell you what. Before I give you my dream guest, what's his name? Come back here. Lloyd Kaufman. We saw Lloyd Kaufman last year at San Diego,
Yes, I
and
would
he
love to
really
meet
wants to
Lloyd
come
in
to
person.
Crypticon. He said, "I would jump over the Space Needle to come to Crypticon." He said, "You tell Troy that I want to come to Crypticon," and I passed the
Yeah.
word along,
Oh.
but I don't know if he'll bring him or not, because this was the 40th anniversary too of Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
perfect. And he would bring some trauma girls with him.
You know who he should also bring are a couple of friends of his and friends of ours, Yuki and John from Yuki and John's podcast buffet.
Well, there you go.
To bring them, and then
And they'd probably be cheap too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two more suggestions that I thought of. Devin Sawa, just because you
Yeah,
can bring him in
yeah.
for
Okay,
not only the
okay.
Chucky series, but Final Destination,
Yeah.
Idle Hands, which is one of my
Idle
favorites
Hands,
as a
man.
kid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that with my cousin so much,
Eminem
just in
video.
one summer alone. Yeah, the Eminem video, but I mean
Yeah.
a lot of things in horror that we
Oh
could
yeah.
celebrate. And then Matthew Lillard would be really cool. I know
He
he's
was
a
there
busy guy.
before. He was there
Okay.
He's been here.
He's
Well,
been here
I
before,
haven't not since I've been
Couple years
going at
ago.
least.
Yeah.
But
It'd be nice
It'd be
to bring
cool.
Fiona and Brad and her dad Brad.
Oh,
They
God, I
could
would
come
love that.
together again.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I've seen them together at other cons, but of
Yeah.
course they're like in Texas or whatever. They're pretty big.
And here's a
Bring back-
curveball because I've seen him complaining that Comic Cons lately too is Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
He'd be cool.
One reason
Bring
I
back-
He has
mentioned
a lot of
Matthew-
good stories to tell as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I bet. One reason I mentioned Matthew Lillard is that, like, of course, to me, he's always going to be remembered for Scream. That's my main one. But like for my 7-year-old, he's going to know him as the dude from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, and Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch those
eventually-
Scooby Doo movies from the early 2000s?
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I haven't watched them with the boys yet, but eventually we
Yeah.
will. But like, he watched Five Nights at Freddy's 2 or 3 times.
And then he
And
was in the other movie too about the house with the ghosts. The
13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of good potential guests. I had one and I forgot it. Oh, bring back Doug Jones.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
He's the
Doug
best
Jones is playing
convention
this-
guest.
He's played here, but he's gone like out to Spokane. So they bring him back to Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was at Crypticon a long time ago.
Yeah,
Years ago.
before Star Trek and the Shape of Water.
Not taken away
Yeah.
from any guests we've had on the show, but one of the sweetest guests we've talked to.
He's a
Very
good dude,
nice
man.
guy.
Yeah, he was super nice. He was fun to talk to. That was one of our first guests we had a long time ago.
Yeah,
Well,
what
that was
about
saying
like
that-
big? What about like big directors and stuff? Since we got like Joe Dante, bring like fucking John Carpenter, Eli Roth, like all these guys that
Yeah.
are big names and
Rodriguez.
Bring fucking
Oh,
Mick,
Rodriguez would be amazing.
Yeah.
bring Mick Garris.
Yeah.
He's
I
awesome.
want to talk to Rodriguez about From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
This might be Go ahead.
Troy's favorite actor is Trejo, but Trejo wants like 75,000
Yeah.
just to come.
Wow.
That's probably
Damn.
like his whole budget on all the
Yeah.
guests.
I say, yeah, why don't you just bring him and then you can have more vendors?
You could
That's
say
cool.
like, "Hey, how about you lower the price and you can bring your Trejo's taco truck and put it outside somewhere.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, right.
Make a
Shit.
little extra scratch with that."
Right.
Do a
Crocodile
screening of
Rhinoverse.
Machete.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
fun. This might be a little bit of a stretch, but what about like some wrestlers that have horror gimmicks? Like,
Kane?
I mean, of course, Undertaker or
Danhausen.
Kane, Danhausen, Mankind,
Yeah.
I think Mick Foley's been
and
there.
the rest.
Mick
Oh, yeah?
Foley's the only one who has actually been out there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been there.
Well, Undertaker and I share a birthday, and so if I met him, I'd
so-
probably just show him my driver's license.
Yeah.
But that you're talking about directors. Everybody but Rob Zombie is showing up to Crypticon. All his
Oh, yeah.
alumni has been up here.
Yeah.
It's about time the big man should show up.
That'd be
He
cool.
does
I wouldn't
cons.
mind meeting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
That'd be cool.
Or even just like fucking bring Robert England. Let's meet Freddie.
I think Robert England's they tried a couple of times and he's pretty
Expensive.
pricey.
Yeah. It's crazy how pricey he is, and then to actually get his autograph is pricey too
Yeah.
Yeah.
at shows. It's like wild. But
It's
yeah,
better to get a photo with him because he brings out his glove.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are definitely a little bit more generous with their pricing, and it's nice to see the ones that'll give you like a photo with an autograph or
Yeah.
like
Well-
shit. I mean, when Steve and I met Muse the first time, Jay, like I think I got an autograph from him and Steve got a photo, and then Jay just looked at me and he was like, "Come on, get in the pictures." And so we got the best of both. You never know when a celebrity's just going to be having a good day.
He's done a couple horror movies too. So
I know. I want to get him on the show so we can talk about
Yeah.
Madness in the Method and actually
Yeah.
that vampire flick called Bitten too. That was
Well,
pretty
he's
fun.
also had a cameo in Scream 3.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. Yeah, there's a handful of horror things. I mean, he was even in a Suicide Silence video once.
Yeah.
So yeah, he pops up in all different places, but I mean, he's done a handful of horror projects, so I'd
he's
like
got
to get him on here.
He's got like 5 shows like with it in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We tried to go contact the comedy club, see if we can get a hold of him there.
Oh, the club I have not. I
Yeah.
sent a message to Jordan and
She
sent a
hasn't said
message to
anything.
Jay. Nope,
Yeah.
neither one.
Try contacting the comedy club, see if you can
That's-
get him that way.
That's a good way to do it. Yeah, he's gonna be out here on the 30th.
Yeah.
And Ron Funches is out at Tacoma Comedy Club this weekend.
Yep.
So
Did Josh Blue already pass by? I think he did too.
I think he played here
Ooh,
recently.
Josh
or
Blue?
He's about
I
to.
think
Yeah.
he was coming.
yeah, there's a handful of really good comics that are going to Tacoma Comedy Club
Oh,
just within
yeah.
a couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. Tacoma's happening. They got like
yeah.
possibly
Well,
the
Nick
best comedy
Swartzen's
club
coming
around.
pretty soon too at Pantages.
That's all right.
Yep.
I'm good.
Oh, you don't like Nick Swartzen?
No, not really.
I do. I think he's pretty funny.
But
Yeah.
like Tacoma, they got that freaking haunted farmers market thing now.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a Halloween parade happening.
Oh,
Oh,
Like
that's
nice.
cool.
they just launched a funding thing to try to come up with money to do it because there's, all kinds of fees and shit you gotta pay to make it happen and advertising it and
Well, the waterfront's really beautiful
security.
now too.
I'm not sure exactly where they said they were doing it, but I actually posted in the Facebook group, Steven Crypto group. There's a crowdfunding campaign, and it has a little bit of details. I think where it's going to be at or where they're shooting for it. So I don't know. Anybody listening gets a chance, check it out. Um, so we mentioned who we like meeting, who we'd like to meet at Crypticon. Uh, Mad Bros Media have been covering it for years. I've been covering it for years. Now Steven Crypto Show has been covering it for a while. It's
Oh,
kind
I
of
would
like
ask your viewers if you guys love Crypticon and you see the footage, if there's something that you haven't seen that I haven't filmed, send a shout out to them or send a shout out to us so we can cover it next time.
yeah, yeah. If something cool you want to
Yeah.
see, like show more of the vendors or show
Or the
more
makeup
collectibles
contest.
of
I
that.
got
Yeah,
I got some clips of the makeup contest, but I know there's people that are like, you gotta shoot the whole thing. So I was trying to shoot a little bit of everything.
yeah.
Yeah. I
You can't
mean,
just
do you get like footage of the cosplay contest at all?
That I didn't get. I missed
Okay.
that.
I know a lot of people are into that, the cosplay side of conventions.
yeah.
So, that
There
might
was
be
a lot
one
of
thing.
there was a lot of cool costumes there.
There's so many things that are going all at once, and sadly I don't have a crew member, but I'm looking into one next year. So if I
Yeah,
can't get it, somebody else can get it for me.
Well, you
there you
sure
go.
capture a lot on your own as it is.
Yeah,
You do it, man.
yeah,
But yeah, it was a busy weekend. I mean, you even got to come and hang out when I was putting in some work too. Like
yeah.
and hung out and did some interviews and stuff, which we should probably get to because I think we kind of got the point across about Crypticon. Crypticon's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's a big part
Oh
of all
yeah,
of our lives. It's our local horror con. It's one of all of our, I could speak for all of us and say it's possibly our favorite local con. Not to knock any other ones, but I always seem to have the most fun because I get to mingle with old friends and make new friends. And, every year it's like hang with Pat and David and
yeah,
Mad Bros and all the celebrities are always accessible and you get to pretty much hang out and spend time with them. And now they got a fucking dinosaur running around and
yeah.
harassing people, which is awesome.
You
Oh
know
yeah,
what? What was
Saphira was
missing
the
this
talk of
year?
the con.
Yeah.
What was missing this year is the well, maybe because of the rain, but it would make it cooler. The zombie walk.
Oh.
Didn't have a
Yeah.
zombie walk at the beginning of the show.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's right. People wandering
Zombie.
through.
Here's two things that have been missing the last couple of years. The zombie walk. Well, the zombie walk I think was last year. The zombie walk, and then they have zombies dance to Thriller. I didn't see that this year,
Oh,
Yeah.
Thriller dance.
and I might have. I think I saw it. I think I saw it online, but I missed. They usually have that Rocky Horror Picture Show sequence, or they go and do a reenactment somewhere in the con.
Yeah, they usually do like a late night screening and do the whole whatever you call it, the
The
routine with it.
Mouseketeers. Yeah.
Yeah. What's even cool is the hotel itself is very welcoming to everybody. Like the staff and like the restaurant even makes like its own little special Crypticon menu and like it's cool, man. It's a perfect venue for it just for the size and you get on. You never know what you're gonna run into.
Exactly.
Like I said, old friends, celebrities. Like this is a perfect segue to get into my first interview because I ran into an actor named Drew Marvick, and it was funny. It was I seen a dude, and I went and did like creepy weirdo thing and messaged him on Instagram. I was like, bro, there's a fucking dude. You have a doppelganger in Seattle, or you're at Crypticon. He's like, no, I'm here. It's like, sweet, so let's connect and set up. So, yeah, this dude, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Why are names slipping my mind right now? We'll just talk about it when we run the interview. Listen to the interview, and you'll hear some of the shit he's been in. Look it up. My brain is tired. It's been a long week, and I think I'm still recovering from Crypticon. I think my brain is still there at the convention and not back in real life yet. So meet Drew Marvick. He's an awesome indie filmmaker, actor. He does all kinds of shit, and he's hilarious. So let's run that interview, and then we'll be back right after that.
Hey, this is Butch Patrick, and you're listening to the Steven Crypto Show.
Hey, Steven Crypto listeners. I ran into another patron here at Crypticon who I didn't expect to run into. I think, honestly, he should be a guest here. But we ran into the actor Drew Marvick, who is been in some of my, probably my favorite horror films in the last couple of years, being Murdercise, which was, it's going to be a cult favorite. I could see it. And XXX-Mas, which he plays one of my favorite horror Santas in movie history even.
Awesome.
We'll go that far. But we have Drew Marvick. I ran into him, and it was kind of weird. I was kind of a weirdo about it. I was like, I saw him, then I messaged him and was like, hey, are you in Seattle, or do you got like a fucking doppelganger running around? And no, it was him. And so we connected, and he's going to pop in and say hi to you guys and hype some stuff he's working on.
Yeah.
So what's happening, dude?
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm glad that you saw me. That actually happens a lot. I mean, obviously, I do conventions as a guest, and as a carny peddling my movies. But I also go to a lot of conventions, kind of secretly or on the sly, because my girlfriend is an agent, and so sometimes she has clients at a convention, and I'll just go with her and maybe not even walk the floor. Or walk at once, and I always end up getting a couple messages from people saying, there's a dude that looks exactly like you walking around, or you wouldn't happen to. I remember even in the UK, I was at a convention, and I got messages saying, like, there's a dude that looks exactly like you at I Love Horror in Manchester, England right now. And I was like, well, that's actually me.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of dudes that fit the image here in Seattle, so
Yeah.
It was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe? Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you messaged me, because here we are.
Yeah, man, this is cool. So yeah, like I said, you were in Murdercise, which I fucking loved it. I looked like a blast. How hard was it to work in that the little short?
It was I don't even think about it when I'm on set and I'm playing the character. It's not usually until afterwards, after the fact, I was like, wow, wait, should I have done that? Am I going to regret this decision? And a lot of times, like, that was even mine. Like, Paul and Angie had an idea of what they wanted the wardrobe to be, but then once we were there, and we work really well together. I was in another movie of theirs, /Lorette Party, before that, so I already knew them really well. And so, kind of going over the character on set before we started shooting, I'm like, well, what if we cut the shorts shorter? What if we cut the shirt shorter? What if I actually put on spandex for one scene? And then, we're just bouncing ideas off each other, and the rest is history.
And then they put you in the outfit, and you were like, fuck.
Yeah.
Why'd I come up with that stupid idea?
Yes. Or afterward, as pictures are starting to circulate on social media and people are tagging me, I'm like, wait, why did I do this? No, I'm just kidding. But it was tons of fun. I mean, everyone that worked on that movie was a blast. So, and I get to work with a lot of them again in Fangs.
Yeah, that's exciting. Shooting soon.
Yeah, I want to say, I don't know that they have an official start date yet, but it's in the next couple months. Like, I have a busy couple months. I start Party Massacre 2. We start production at the end of May. May 28th is our first day of shooting, and we'll wrap that in the middle of June, and I go straight to Detroit for a biker horror movie called Evil 1%, which looks really cool. That's actually crowdfunding right now. It's like a cool, like, zombie biker psychedelic horror, which is something despite the fact that I look like a biker, have never been cast in a biker movie. So I'm really excited to play like a badass biker hitman.
So no short shorts.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Well, you never know. By the time I get there, who knows? But then I go straight from Detroit to Northern California to shoot OnlyFangs. So,
what do you know about your character in OnlyFangs that you could mention? If you can.
Yeah, I don't know what they've already released or not, or what they would be protective over necessarily. But I can say that I am, because I know that they've already said that I'm the lead. Like I'm the lead in the movie, and I play a character that is. I'm trying to think what I can say and what I can't say. I don't know. Maybe I should leave it a little more. Mystery.
We'll just tell people to keep their eyes open.
Yeah, because I don't know if people know. Am I a vampire? Am I not a vampire? Do I become a vampire? Do I fight vampires? Am I a werewolf? I don't know. So maybe we'll just leave that. I'll leave that to Paul and Angie to leak.
Right on. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But the script is great. It's tons of fun. I can't tell you that. And there's a lot of vampire action. Hot female vampires, if that's something that your listeners are into. There's a lot of that. And everyone doesn't look like me. I'll tell you that much.
All right, so you're not going to be one of the hot vampires. So we got that clear. Well, what about Pool Party Massacre 2? Sure, you could talk about that.
I can. That I can talk in length about. Well, I mean, it's something I've been trying to make for years now, actually. I mean, Pool Party Massacre 1 came out in 2017, and it kind of quickly started picking up steam and like became whatever you want to call it. Like people like to call it an indie, a indie cult classic now, or an indie darling. But it got a lot of traction. It's a pretty popular indie film, so I've been trying to make the sequel since 2019, and then the world shut down and we weren't able to start when we were supposed to, and so we're finally ramping back up to shoot it. But it's a direct sequel to the first one, but about 10 years later, and in the story it's actually 10 years. It is 10 years later.
Any cast you can mention? Or
yeah, well, I mean, I'm in it again. That's probably a no-brainer for people that are familiar with the movie. But let's see, I haven't officially announced anyone. Not that I'm like keeping it a secret. I just haven't. I've been so busy in pre-production that I haven't officially announced anyone. But I've let other people announce themselves. Or our special effects artist Joe Castro has been having to do a lot of head molds of people for kill scenes, and been slowly posting things. So there are a couple social media influencers that are friends of mine that are in the movie that I don't think people were expecting to be in. One of them, he goes by Charlie Classic. He's a pretty big social influencer, was really big on Vine and is still big on TikTok and Instagram. Sean Barrett is another one. We have one of my favorite Juggalo rappers, Ouija Mac, is going to be in it. So there's a lot of people that I think the fans won't expect to see, but will recognize their faces. Like when they come on screen, they're going to say, "Oh my God, that guy's in my For You feed constantly on Instagram or TikTok," but I didn't expect to see him in an indie slasher film. So it's a lot of familiar faces for other reasons, but not the familiar faces that people would expect to see.
That's a good way to, grow your audience too, by cross-pollinating each other's.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's something, I mean, there was a recent hullabaloo on Facebook in the indie horror world that I kind of saw from a distance about people using the same actors on all of how a lot of the indie horror films in the like under $100,000 budget range, or even under $50,000 budget range, are using a lot of the same people over and over again. Some of them being horror celebrities, and then some of them just being indie actors and actresses. But a lot of them are just you see them in everything that was being made, or at least some people felt that way. That is a discussion for a whole other time, but it kind of validated for me what I was doing, because I was already casting Pool Party 2 and casting it with people who had never been in an indie horror film. ever before. A lot of them are actors and done lots of things. It's just they're not part of this world. And so I was excited to kind of bring them, like you said, cross-pollinate, but like bring them into this world because they're people that I love and respect and have worked with and trust, and I know that they can deliver.
And you know that they have that same love for, the horror movie
for sure
and everything. So it's cool. Give them a shot.
And that's the other thing that's important to me as a filmmaker and as a director is I only like to work with people that are excited to be in the project. There's plenty of people that I could cast that would bring a little bit of cachet to the project, and they have notoriety, but they wouldn't be necessarily excited to do it. They'd be doing it for the paycheck or doing it to get the work. And I would personally much rather have someone that is excited about it, that maybe doesn't have quite as much experience or notoriety, but they really want to do it and they're going to bring everything to it, and I can collaborate with them and we can have a ton of fun. Because everything I do I do this for fun. I didn't get into making movies to not have fun. Like that's
right.
It's certainly not so I could be rich and famous, because that doesn't happen in the indie horror world. So I did it so I can have fun. I could have fun with my friends making horror movies and making the kind of movies that I want to watch. And so that's what I'm doing. That's what Pool Party Massacre 1 was, 100%. Yep. I mean, we only had a $6,000 budget. It was literally me and a few of my friends making a horror movie in my parents' backyard is really what the first one was. And so this one is just going to be a slightly elevated version of that.
Yeah, a little bit bigger budget.
Yeah, bigger budget, lots more blood, lots more boobs, lots more of everything.
I think that's all most of my listeners need to hear. More blood and boobs. Like, I mean,
that's really where that's. It's most of the fans of Pool Party Massacre 1 are going to want to see. But it's just like the first one, it's silly. Like I'm not trying to make a genuinely scary movie. I'm not trying to win an Oscar. I'm trying to make something that people, when they sit down and give me an hour and a half of their time in their busy schedule, I just want them to be entertained. I want them to leave watching the movie with a smile on their face and not feel like they wasted 90 minutes. And that's always my goal. I just want them to have fun.
Right on. How did you get into filmmaking and acting, of course?
I mean, I've always been a fan. I've been a fan of movies my whole life. Like my parents were really into movies, my mom especially. So movies were a part of my childhood. I mean, much like everyone, but even a little more to the fact that like we were constantly watching movies. My mom was always at the rental place, and she actually had 2 VCRs and would dub movies so she would go every week on new release day and get 4, 5, 6 movies, bring them home, and spend what felt like 24 hours straight recording them all so that she could return them the next day and not pay for extra days. And then we could watch them throughout the week until next week's new release day. Then she would rent 4 or 5 more, do the same thing. So we had this giant wall unit full of VHS tapes, and each tape had several movies on it. There were just movies. I was constantly surrounded by movies, so I always had a fascination. And she was a horror fan as well, so I grew up watching horror slowly but surely, and being exposed to it. So it's always something I wanted to do, and I would make little short films with their VHS camcorder when I was a kid, using like action figures and fireworks and
right.
So and the neighborhood kids, like I would write and direct these little short films and like get the kids on my cul-de-sac to act in it. So I mean, I always kind of had it, but as far as literally doing it for a living, like I do, I kind of fell in it. Like I decided not to go to film school, and I got a business degree, and after college was managing nightclubs in Las Vegas, and like one of my employees just was in film school and was working on film sets and commercials, and I just went to work on a commercial for fun, and then it like reignited my love for it, and I ended up quitting the nightclub industry and diving headfirst back into film and on the commercial side. So I've produced and directed commercials now for 20. I mean, that's what actually Pool Party Massacre didn't buy my house. Directing and producing commercials did. Right. So I've been doing that for a long time, and then through that I was able to make start making short films with the crews that I would use on commercials with my new friends and coworkers. And so I started making writing and directing short films and commercials and just comedy sketches and anything I could. And that just grew into the idea of let's make a slasher film. And that's when Party Massacre was born.
And it just happened from there. Did any of the business degree background, did you use any of that in your film career?
For sure. Like I mean, I can think back to when I was graduating high school and telling my dad that I wanted to go to film school, and my parents were super supportive. They're great in every way, but my dad is a businessman and he's super smart, and he just kind of laid it out on the table and said, "Listen, if that's what you want to do, if you want to go to film school," I think a lot of it was that I just kind of wanted. Like I think if I was really passionate about it, I don't think he would have questioned it at all. But I was wishy-washy, and I was like, I think maybe I want to go to film school. And he said, well, listen, if you think maybe you want to go to film school, that's great, and I'll support you. But I would recommend that you get a business degree first, because no matter what you do in film, you're going to need that. You're going to need to be business savvy and smart. If you want to make movies, which is what you want to do, you're going to need to know how to hire people, and you're going to have to understand how that works, and you're going to need to know how to finance a movie. You're going to need to know how to distribute it. You're going to have to understand all of these other aspects of a business. You're not just writing the words on the paper. And at that time, I'm sure I thought he was a jerk and didn't understand me or whatever. But I agreed with him, and he made me a deal. He said, "Listen, if you go get a business degree first, and if you still want to go to film school after that, I'll pay for you. I will pay out of my pocket for you to go to film school. You don't even have to pay. But if you want to do it the other way, then you work your way through college." Which I ended up doing anyways. Got my business degree, and then I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to do another
right.
2 years. Yeah, but then later learned that the business degree, especially as a producer, is far more valuable than I think anything I would have learned in film school. Because as a producer, that's really all you are. You're a manager. Like you're managing the business that is the film, or the business that is the commercial. I mean, you're hiring people, you're renting gear. That's often how I describe it when family members ask me what I did. What exactly do you do? What does a producer do? It's usually how I describe it. Like my family back in Ohio, if one of them owns a sandwich shop, I'm like, it's literally like when you opened your sandwich shop. You had to find the right crew to run it. You had to find the right location for it to be in. You had to get all of the materials that you needed to make the sandwiches. And then you had to actually start making it. The only difference is you just keep it, all of that, forever. I do it for 1 to 10 days and then fire everyone, sell off everything, get rid of the location, and then a couple weeks later do it all over again. It's just starting new businesses and then shutting them down over and over and over again.
Yeah, like each production is another business.
It is 100%. It's just another business where I now have to find all of the right employees, all of the right materials and gear and utensils and locations and everything. And you have to find everything that you need to make the product that you're trying to make. And then but the difference is when you're finished making the product, you then fire everyone, liquidate everything, push that product away, and then go, okay, cool, next week or next month or whenever it is, let's do it all over again.
So that could kind of explain why you mentioned the hullabaloo about people using the same people over and over. It's that kind of plays into that.
Sure.
By bringing them back rather than firing them.
Yeah, and I can understand both sides. Again, not to go I don't want to even pick sides in that argument necessarily, because there's so many nuances to it. And I wasn't really involved in it anyways. I work in my own bubble. Like I'm very much a part of the indie horror community, and have been for a long time as a convention and film festival goer before I even started making films, and still. But I'm not involved in it in that aspect. I make my movies in my little bubble in Las Vegas with my crew and with my friends. So I'm not really in that scene. But I also understand why someone might have people that they like to work with, and why they would want to bring them back again. But I can also understand as a viewer where you might get sick of seeing the same people over and over again, or or feel like other people aren't getting a chance because of it, maybe. But I feel like I kind of work outside of all of that.
You're like part of it, but you're over here. You do you over here.
Yeah, when I'm making it, I'm in my own world.
Yep. Right on. We've taken quite a bit of time from you. I wanted you to get back to the floor and do some shopping. And is there anything else you got coming you want to hype, or you want to plug socials, or?
Oh man. Well, I mean, definitely if anybody wants to know what I have going on, they can go to my socials for sure. And it's just my name. It's just Drew Marvick. On Instagram is probably where I'm the most active, and Facebook, but I'm also on TikTok, and I have a Twitter that I log into once a year, maybe. But yeah, there is a lot. I have a lot going on between, like I said, Pool Party Massacre, and then Evil 1%, and then Only Fangs. All of those kind of happening back to back. So
busy summer.
Yeah, and then other things that just recently came out, like Murdercise, XXX-Mas, and I was someone else just asked me on a podcast. They were going through my IMDb because I don't ever look at it, and they were like, "Well, it looks like you've been on over 50 films. There's 50 things on here." I was like, I didn't even know.
Right.
And looking at the in development things, I think there's like 13 movies that I've been a part of that haven't been released but have been shot. So there's a lot that could be coming out. Yeah. A movie called Art of the Dead that I was a part of that was really cool, and it should be, hopefully will be coming out soon. Another movie called Slaughter on the Set. Dolly Deadly Part 2, Kill Dolly Kill, which I went to a premiere of last year. Trauma picked it up, so I think it got delayed a little bit through that process. But yeah, there's a bunch of really cool projects that hopefully will be coming out soon.
Cool. So everybody, stay tuned. I'll throw a link or two up to your socials, and follow his IMDb. You don't, but you guys should, and see what might be coming soon. And Drew, thanks for hanging, dude.
Yeah.
It was good running into you, and
yeah, thank you.
Hopefully we cross paths again.
I'm sure we will.
Hi, this is Pinna Palmer, aka Sarah Palmer, aka Gwen Gooley, and I am on the Steve and Crypto Show. Tune in very soon, or now. I don't care.
All right, we are back. I'm glad that I ran into Drew. He's a good dude. Hopefully, down the road, once he releases something big, we'll get him back on here to have a nice, long conversation. But check it out on Tubi. Find Murdercise. That movie is fucking awesome. If you like gory stuff and you like boobies and you like independent horror, it's a good film to check out. I enjoyed it, and they're working on a lot of the same cast is coming back for the Only Fangs movie, which is going to be really
Only
good.
Fangs.
Yeah. But we get on to our second and last interview from the Crypticon weekend. Why don't our buddy Pat plug the channel again?
All right, Mad Bros Media, the best pop culture show in the Pacific Northwest, #1 pop culture show in the Pacific Northwest. It's on YouTube, X, Twitter, TikTok, all social media. And the main one would be YouTube. So if you're looking to see what we're about, check them out on YouTube.
Yeah, do that. Go check it out.
Yeah.
You guys, any last thoughts about Crypticon before we meet this last guest?
Another great thing that I love to do, and I'll share with you real quick, is I like to go there early. If I'm in the hotel or if I'm there early, I like to go in the morning to sit in the lobby where they have the coffee. I go and sit and have a cup of coffee and just watch the celebrities come down and just watch them get coffee. And it's kind of like amazing. It's like, oh, wow, there's this person or that person. And they don't even look like they're wide awake. They look like they're just dead until they have a cup of coffee.
Yep.
How does Joe Dante take his coffee?
I don't know. He looked like he had tea.
Oh, okay.
And he was walking. He was just like I seen him once a long time ago for a showing in Seattle for Gremlins 2. And he was more active. Now he's just kind of like a tired old man. So he's kind of walking with. I'm surprised he's not walking with a cane, but he's walking really slow, like an old man.
What's crazy about him, like, Friday, Saturday, he just kind of like sat at his table and seemed kind of quiet. But by Sunday, he was all like wandering around and
Oh, he was excited with Saphira.
chit-chatting
He
and
loved
like,
taking
Yeah.
pictures of Saphira.
Yeah, he
It's like,
walked
you should
right up
make a
behind
movie
all
about
of us when
Saphira.
we were checking out Saphira, and I said it last time, but I'll add something else to it. So I said to him, I was like, "Hey, you can get some DNA from a gremlin and a raptor and make a great movie," and he said, "Don't tell Roger Corman," and then he walked away, and then
He passed
sadly, unfortunately, about a week later, Roger left us. So, R.I.P. Roger Corman. That's all I wanted to say.
let's dedicate this episode to him.
Yeah.
With all that out of the way, let's wrap our Crypticon coverage. I'm sure we'll fucking talk about it throughout the year.
Oh
but
yeah. Well,
we'll-
like I said, I haven't put anything together yet, so we can do another discussion once all the footage is out and about. You can
Yeah,
discuss
yeah.
what you saw and what I could change or add more to.
we need to tag team more things with Mad Bros and Steven Crypto and
Oh
do
yeah.
some live shit and do all kinds of cool stuff. But on our show, we're basically wrapping the Crypticon coverage with this last interview with a comic book writer. A couple years, maybe a year and a half ago, uh, these people bought the rights to Gold Key Comics, like the old comic company that put out like Dark Shadows comics and the Boris Karloff mysteries and all kinds of cartoon characters and stuff. And they relaunched the publishing company, Gold Key, and they kicked it off with Boris Karloff Gold Key Mysteries series, and we had one of the writers from the first book, Craig Hurd-McKenney. He was a guest at Crypticon and took a little time after the show to come and hang out. And actually, you were hanging with us too when we did the interview. You and David were on a little break, hiding out in the hotel room, waiting
Before the
hour
pizza
and a half
dude.
for damn pizza. Yeah, took him forever, but yeah, Craig Hurd-McKenney popped in, hung out, and chatted. He seemed like a cool dude, and he kind of gave me some little down low information of a comic series that he's working on that he can't mention yet. But as soon as it is public, I want to get him on the show to tell you guys about it because I'm really excited for it, and I know a lot of old school television horror fans will be excited for it. So stick around, check out this interview, meet him. He seems like a really good dude, really passionate about what he does, and he likes to talk, which is good. I love the guests who like to talk. So I'm just like, here, let me stick a microphone in your face, ask you a question, and you take it from there.
Yeah.
Makes my life a lot easier. But yeah, so Craig Hurd-McKenney. Let's check this dude out, and we will be back to say goodbye to Crypticon for now and our listeners. Hey, Steven Crypto listeners. I am being visited by Craig Hurd-McKenney. He's a comic writer, and he's recently taken part of the Gold Key Comics relaunch with the Boris Karloff Gold Key Mysteries book. He written one of the stories in there. It's like an anthology book. I don't know if there's going to be more of them, but I know this one's really cool, and I wanted to ask Craig a little about it and tell us how he got involved with this and tell us about some of the other work he's done. So intro yourself and...
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm always excited to chat with people about horror in general, but especially this project, Boris Karloff Gold Key Mysteries. Like you said, my name's Craig. I've been writing comics for about 20 years. Lots of different, I think all of my work really involves horror to some degree. But I was really excited when I was invited to participate in the first issue of Gold Key Mysteries, Karloff Gold Key Mysteries. Part of the mystery I'll reveal is that there are more issues. Number 2 came out, I want to say late February, and they're working on the 3rd issue now. They've got a project coming from Jay Stevens called Figgy Furthermore. So it's kind of getting into the animated-esque characters that Gold Key used to do. And he's a ghost dog. And then they have a secret project, which I couldn't get them to tell me what it is that they're working on now as well. So Gold Key is alive. Their motto is "Story never dies." Gold Key lives, and story never dies. So they've got a lot more coming.
What is your story in the first issue about?
So my story in this issue is called "My Twin No More." My artistic collaborator, Jock, I've known for a long time. We have a couple of projects that we're working on together and that we've worked on together. And so it features an older woman who works in Hollywood who decides to get plastic surgery, and her doppelganger arrives with some thoughts about that plastic surgery.
Yeah, it gets kind of wild at the end of that. I don't want to give away much because it's a series of cool short stories, but that was a cool one. Yeah, it's kind of about people doing, like you say, like plastic surgery and kind of getting carried away, and
yeah,
it's like their inner person is saying slow to F down, and yeah.
I find all kinds of horror scary, but I think we don't have to look that far for scary things beyond ourselves. And so a lot of my characters are their own worst enemies and manifest that horror themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And my twin No More is no different.
Yep. It's a good example of that. So are you doing any stories in the future Karloff books?
What I love about Boris Karloff Gold Key Mysteries is that they are keeping the roster of people creating stories rotating. I know that when I was first starting out, finding those opportunities was very limited. And so I'm happy to be in issue 1, and I'm also happy to give up my seat and let other people have a shot in upcoming issues. I would love to be back. We'll see. I don't know. But if the invitation comes, I will be ready to go. But I'm also really excited for some of the folks that they've got coming up in the book. One more thing that I would say about it is that there is a frame story that will be in each issue by Michael W. Conrad and Kelly Williams. And it explains how all of the short stories tie together. And I will say no more than that because it is kind of spoilers for issue 1 as well to say more than that.
Right. I like it. And it provides like a wraparound to all the...
Yes. And
classic anthology stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you will get your Crypt Keeper-esque host for the book.
Talk a little about some of the other stuff you've done.
Sure. So I'm probably best known for one of two things. I have an ongoing self-published horror book called Some Strange Disturbances. It's set in Victorian London, and it's about a trio of characters that it's sort of like found family. They've been rejected by or don't have biological family, so they come together to face all kinds of ghosts and monsters and things in Victorian London. The other book that I am probably best known for is called The Brontes' Infernal Angria, and Rick Geary is the artist on that. If you're familiar with like the San Diego Comic-Con Toucan, Rick has done that. Rick also does The Treasury of Victorian Murder. Like he's prolific. His work is beautiful. He's a gentleman and a sweetheart. So it's always great to work with him. But those are the two things that I'm probably most known for. I've got a couple of things coming up next year. I'll have a sci-fi horror book out called Station Grand with artist Noah Bailey. And if you are not familiar with Noah's work, your mind is going to be blown when you see it. I've got another secret project that should be out next summer. I can say that it's a licensed horror property. So it's something that everybody will know. And it's, I want to say it's like 120 something pages, original graphic novel set in that world. And Jock, my collaborator on My Twin No More, will be the artist on that. And then I have another book, which is too soon to talk about because I haven't signed the contract yet. So more to come.
Well, where can people keep up on the latest news about all these books?
For sure. Thank you for asking that. You can visit hspcomics.com, hspcomics.com. HSP stands for Headless Shakespeare Press, which is the name that I publish under for the last 20 years. And if you're familiar with the old Batman TV show from the 60s, they have to flip the Shakespeare bust head back to activate the Batcave bookcase. So that's where Headless Shakespeare comes from. But all news, all events, all things, all cons that I'm doing, you can get all that information at hspcomix.com.
Cool. We'll make sure to link that up. And anything you want to add to people listening?
No, just thank you for allowing me the time to chat with you. I'm always happy to talk horror. If you all have not come to Crypticon here in Seattle, you should definitely make it. It's a fun event, lots of stuff going on. And it's always great to meet new people such as yourself and have conversations like this at Crypticon.
Any other shows coming up?
I will be doing the Halloween Expo in Spokane, Washington in October. I'm doing a show in Vancouver. It's the Vancouver Comic Con in September. I'm going in reverse chronological
Is that
order.
the up north or south?
Up north, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Vancouver, BC. I will be doing a secret event related to the book that I can't talk about this summer, and then I will be doing the Stoker Con, which is the Horror Writers Association convention. I'll be tabling there as well.
Oh, nice.
And that'll be in San Diego.
Craig, thank you for popping up and hanging out. And you need to go get some rest now for tomorrow, right? Yeah.
I need to get dinner.
There you go. Yeah. Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shit, Steve, call me Alaska Airlines because I'm barely holding myself together.
Too soon with the Alaska Airlines, but I feel you.
You sure? You sure? Too soon?
A little bit.
You know what? That's fine. Fortunately, I got hooked up with these tropical THC gummies from Sunday Scaries. They're called couch potatoes.
Yeah, they're legal. Yeah, they're real. Yes, you definitely get high. And no, you shouldn't drive.
Couch potatoes come in 4 different flavors. Tropical flavors, that is. Mango, pineapple, orange, and blue raz. They're so tasty, they'll have your taste buds signing up for jury duty.
You know, couch potatoes are ideal for boosting your happiness and relaxation by entering a mild euphoric state.
And whether you had a shitty day of work, the kids are finally asleep, or you spent the weekend with the in-laws, just take one gummy and watch your stresses melt away.
You can get 20% off your order with the code SteveCrypto at sundayscaries.com. Afraid? Don't be. There's a 100% money back guarantee on all purchases, so there's no buying risk.
Check out sundayscaries.com and feel good.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
And we are back. That is wrapping up all of the Crypticon chat for now until, a week or two. We'll probably bring it up again. Who knows?
Yeah, we kind of
love talking about it. We really do.
And we'll keep you guys updated.
Maybe we can share next time our best story or favorite stories from the past Crypticon.
Yeah.
Like getting COVID from Christy.
That's a good.
Yeah, earlier when you were thinking about guests that weren't so nice, I was gonna mention that. I decided not to.
That person was nice, but
she was nice. She just like kind of insecure, and she was kind of down. Even in my interview with her, she didn't seem like she was into it.
Like,
yeah,
it was one of those situations where it's like this person is just here to do a job.
Yeah,
more than that's how I kind of felt with Billy Zane. It was like, okay, when it's time to take the picture that he's paid for, he'd do his little smile or pose, and then right back to disinterested and disconnected from what's going on.
And he went from Crypticon to the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, didn't he just get booked to play as
He's doing a movie about Marlon Brando. Yeah.
Yeah, Brando, yeah. Like there's pictures released of him.
Yeah.
Like,
he looks a lot like
pretty
Brando.
good, man. It looks like young Brando. So I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be good. Hopefully this is finally
What'll convince me is the voice. If he can do the voice like Brando.
Yeah.
It's
And he's going to be an Oscar contender.
It could be. This could be.
I say if they release it this year, he could be an Oscar contender.
This could finally be his big moment. 'Cause he's done a lot of. I mean, he ain't really been like the star in anything, but he's
except for the
really
Phantom.
well known. The Phantom, yeah.
The
I like
Phantom. That's right. Yeah, I saw that
Phantom
in the
was
theater.
cool, man. Did you?
I did. Yeah,
Wow,
I was pretty young.
that was a good one.
So, what's funny, and of course I didn't want to say this to him, but when I first saw that he was announced, my first reaction was like, oh, Imhotep from The Mummy. And I love that movie a lot. And then I realized that it's the wrong actor.
Not him.
No.
That would've been
So good
funny
thing I
if
didn't
he
go up
went
to
up
him and be like, man, I loved you in that movie. How was it working with Brendan Fraser?
He probably. I'm sure if you look though, he probably has worked with Brendan Fraser.
Not yet. Oh, but hey, you know what? He did do a Scorpion King movie, a spinoff. One of the sequels he did.
Really? Like Scorpion King 3 or something?
Yeah, Scorpion King 3. So there is a connection to the Mummy there somehow. It's not with Brandon Fraser.
Is that the one?
He's Imhotep's cousin.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff though. He's definitely.
Oh yeah.
He's top of the B-lister chart. That's for sure.
Well, Titanic, between Titanic and the Phantom, those are the top films he's famous for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Critters 1.
Oh yeah, Critters, yeah.
With his little ponytail.
It's funny. He's in Critters 1, and I forgot that Brad Dourif is in like one of the later ones too. I think he has a small part, like 3 or 4.
Right.
See, Brad Dourif could become because he's been in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was Chucky, but he's also in the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
He was in Alien Resurrection.
Yep.
Which he had, to me, I mean, Alien Resurrection was a fun movie, but to me, he had the funniest part in the movie, playing that doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good part for him. Another good part that he had that was a small cameo was it Urban Legend, I think? Like the first scene, the intro, he's like the creepy guy outside of the car that's telling the girl, like, get out of the car because there's somebody in it. And she was just, of course, turned away by him and how he was acting. And turns out there was somebody in her back seat.
Yeah. He was also in Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
You know who I just thought of? I just watched a movie with him the other day. What the hell is the movie called? It's one that Barbara Crampton was hyping.
With a Suitable Flesh? Or was it Jacob's wife?
Something. I'm looking it up right now. But Richard Brake was in it.
Oh, that new one. It's
been
like
out here?
it's kind of like an indie Western style
Yeah.
in the Midwest. Something about Yuma.
in Arizona, Yuma, yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched it, and it was really good.
Where she plays the secretary of the sheriff.
She's a secretary, yep. And I really enjoyed the movie. Last stop in Yuma County, yep. And yeah, man, it was a cool cast, and he was so good. Like, I heard so much about him. Like, I don't know if he'd been up here before.
Yeah, he has.
He has?
Yeah.
Okay, and I must not have met him. But I hear
he's an interesting character. He was fun interview.
I hear
he was up like 3 years ago.
I hear he's a really, really nice dude.
Oh yeah, he's super
but
cool.
He's just so good at playing creepy. That's who did we talk to? Matthew Patrick Davis was telling us about Richard.
Oh, that's right.
Being a really, really nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just so good at playing a fucking creep.
Like in 31.
Yeah, man,
yeah.
He just has a unfortunately creep look to him.
And Doom.
He's a good actor.
Did you ever see that old movie of Doom? Like with The Rock. He's in that too.
Been a long time. Yeah. I didn't even know who he was back then.
Right. With The Rock?
No.
No, Richard Brake.
Richard Brake. No, I knew who Richard Brake was. I didn't know The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock.
And then Three
this
from Hell.
guy.
He should come back too. Just bring
Rob
Zombie, bring him, bring all these people.
I know because it might be
what's
kind of
her name?
expensive.
His wife.
Oh, Sherry, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring David Desmelchin.
Yeah,
be a great
he he comes to
guest.
Portland a lot, but he comes as the Count. He sells his comics at the Portland.
Yeah, he did one of the conventions down there.
Yeah.
Or
Speaking
he
of the
did a
Count,
comic shop. That's what it was.
speaking of the Count, what about Daniel Roebuck?
He would be
Yep.
a cool guest. Him
Yeah.
and fucking Butch Patrick would Butch Patrick rolls with like the cars.
Yeah.
With, like a couple Monsters cards, which would be cool as shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, have those out there with the
With Butch
hearses.
Patrick and Pat Priest. If you're gonna get Eddie, you got to get
Yeah.
Marilyn too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last
And I heard
two-
she's super nice. She's super
Yeah.
nice, and she sells her autographs dirt cheap.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So she said she charges like $20. So that's
Oh,
like for
great.
an autograph for someone who's almost out the door. That's pretty good
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she's in her 80s now.
Yeah. Not exactly somebody who's going to every con like Eugene Clark.
Yeah.
I think he's homeless and he just travels around.
I've
to
listened to other
conventions.
podcasts where they've talked about him, and they're like, if you go to a convention, you'll see Eugene Clark there. Like, doesn't matter which one, he'll be there.
Yeah. Maybe there's like an army of Eugene Clarks.
He
wandering
just keeps
around.
biting more people, and he's like, your name is Eugene Clark. I
Just
have
at
a
every
gig
convention.
next Saturday. Be there.
Well, it's funny because I save the same clip. So whenever I do a montage of who's coming, I just use the same clip of him at the gas station.
It's a good 75% chance he's gonna be there. So
Yeah.
like it's weird. I mean it's cool, man. He's awesome with
He stopped doing
with
panels too because
guests.
I tried to interview him like a couple of years ago. He says, "Well, just come check out my panel," but he's not doing the panels anymore. I guess they don't give him a panel.
Oh.
Like they'll give that homeless guy a panel again. Oh shit. No, but he's a nice guy though.
Oh yeah, he's a nice guy.
And
But
his
it's funny,
table's
I've
always
heard-
busy and people have fun getting pictures and stuff with him. So what was that though? Sorry.
Yeah, I heard that he asked cons to come. They don't get him. He asked them, "Hey, you guys have any space for me to come over?"
Yeah, I mean, you do it enough, you're gonna make good money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to have a little exercise training too. I filmed that. I don't know why he hasn't done that either. That's kind of cool. He gets them trained so he can be ready, to be chased by a zombie. Gives them
cool.
stretching exercises so
But
they're
you're
ready
for
to
the
run.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
He does that in the getup and everything.
Yep.
That's funny.
I don't think he changes out of costume till he leaves.
He should do it in character and just try to like point at things like the exercise machine or like starts running. And
I mean, dude, he's definitely a hustler. Gotta give him
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, like I said, he's usually pretty busy at his table, so he's making an impression on people, which is awesome. How cool would it be to make a living just going to conventions every weekend?
That'd be great.
Fantastic.
That could be my life. Yeah, I'd do that.
If I would, oh my god.
I had an idea for a movie like that. Do a Clerks in a Comic-Con setting.
Don't spill your idea out here too much because somebody might steal it.
It's funny you mentioned Clerks. I was thinking, I mean, I don't know if Crypticon would be into it, but it would be kind of cool if they had Kevin for a horror project.
Tusk and Red State.
Yeah, Tusk, Red State. I mean, if he does
he did another horror
Moose
movie.
Jaws or something, you bring him out for that.
He did another horror movie with his daughter, and I haven't seen it yet. But I know it's out there.
Oh.
With
Yoga
Harley.
Hosers, that one was kind of
Well, yeah, but there's another one. There's another one where the trailer shows her nose getting cut off by a machete.
Oh.
It just goes right to her nose, and then they cut it to the title. It's like it was like a teen comedy or a teen horror flick.
Is it Kilroy was here?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard him talk about that one a
Kilroy,
lot.
I think Kilroy was here. That's what it was.
Okay. Haven't actually seen anything about it, but I've heard him talk
like
about
a
it.
janitor in that movie. Or yeah, I think he's a janitor in that movie too. He has like a small part.
He played a janitor in a Canadian horror show as well.
Yeah.
Shit, what was the name of it? It had like a scary book and everything. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was a like Canadian like teen horror show, and he was the janitor that gave him
Oh,
advice. Todd in the Book of Pure Evil.
yeah.
That's what it was.
I've seen it. Is it worth watching?
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but it's fun. It's just like a bunch of kids taking on a different monster or different like, entity each week.
Oh, it is actually a series. It's not.
It was, yeah. I think they only did it for like 3 seasons, but yeah. I think it even got an award, like what is it, a Juno or whatever they get in Canada.
Yeah, it's Juno.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even guys like that could be brought up for some of their horror projects. You mentioned Alice Cooper. I'd like to see more musicians.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does cons though.
Dude, what about fucking Corey from Slipknot?
Yeah.
Just relaunch Famous Monsters. Like, set him up a whole fucking booth and make it a thing.
Yeah, he does do cons. I mean, I've seen him appear at a few.
But a lot of the cons you see people like that are like a lot bigger, like Midsummer down in California and Texas, Frightmare and Horror Hound. All those are like way bigger than Crypticon.
Corey went to Astronomicon in Michigan.
Yeah, not like taking anything away from Crypticon. Crypticon is awesome.
Yeah.
I do like that. I do like the fact that he's not trying to outgrow. You know what I mean? Outgrow itself. And he's keeping it within the means to keep it fun and accessible for everybody.
Affordable.
The best thing about Crypticon to me is it's all in one area.
Yeah.
There may be even separate rooms, but it's all in one area. Now, not with like ECC where you got to go to 3 different buildings across Seattle just to
like
see
a quarter
somebody
mile across town. And
yeah, you walk 2 miles, you go to the vendor room in one room or one building, and you go across the street to photo ops, and then you got to go to another area to just do the autographs.
Yeah. And if you do any autographs or photo ops, you're gonna spend half of your day in
all
one of the
day
places. So you're gonna I can imagine how many like vendors and artists and stuff just like lost money because everybody was stuck in autograph lines and stuff. Like they got fucked.
Yeah.
And they spend a hell of a lot to get some of those autographs
lot
too.
of
So
money.
by the time they get out of the line, they're like, well, I'm broke. So
I just mean for like the artists and shit, they're paying hundreds, even thousands of dollars for their booth spaces at Emerald City. And it's like, if everybody's being diverted over to where the celebrities are, so you could pay $400 for a fucking half a second photo op with Chris Evans, like, it sucks. It hurts the artists, which is what these fucking shows are built on. These shows are all built.
And here's another thing too I've
creators.
seen. Here's another thing I've seen too that I was noticing when I was in the vendor rooms. Not everybody is there to see the celebs, so it's not always crowded in the celeb area. There's vendors that have a lot of cool stuff, and there's makeup artists that are there. And so, like you said, there's old friends that catch up with stuff, and they're like sitting there talking, and then somebody else will join in and they'll talk, and sometimes it's like a little crowd talking to somebody.
Yeah, a lot of people come to like Crypticon for art and collectibles and stuff, because you go to Comic-Con, most of the stuff you see, you're gonna see everywhere. You know what I mean? You'll see the same shit that people are selling at Emerald City or something. You'll see at like Target and Walmart. Same shit. All the pop culture, superhero, Marvel, DC stuff. But at horror conventions, a lot of it is fan created, so it's unique, and it's not all based on these franchises and properties. It's like just spooky shit. You know what I mean? Like creepy dolls and like cool art and
house decor.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's shit you're not gonna get.
Oh yeah, Matt Shaw too.
You're not gonna find everywhere. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I keep telling Steve to interview Matt Shaw because Matt has written 2 books about Crypticon, horror books
Right.
about Crypticon, and it involves Troy and Mickey and Steve Lang and most of the people from Crypticon.
That's cool. Yeah.
So you guys should try to get him next year.
I'll have
Yeah.
to track down
Another
his
cool
book.
thing that I saw, and I just thought about it, there was a guy selling replica dolls of Megan.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see the
And
Megan-
the full Empire Promotions, who bring most of the people, they both have the girl that played Megan and the girl that was Megan's like friend, or the girl that Megan was taking care of. So they should bring them too, because Megan 2 is coming out in a
Yeah.
couple years.
That's right.
This is true.
Because I know they
Yes.
have on their panels, when that girl does that dance, she can do that side flip still because she was a gymnast.
Right. There's so many potential cool guests that could come here.
Yeah.
And
Like
I
we
keep
got
thinking about it.
actors and artists and musicians. What are some like horror writers?
Ooh,
Stephen
yeah.
King would be awesome to have there. I
Yeah.
know he would be like through the roof there if they got
Yeah.
him.
That wouldn't happen, but that would be cool.
I know.
That would definitely
Yeah.
be cool.
I'd have so many questions to ask him.
Yeah. But I think it's cool that there are a lot of regional authors and artists and creators and stuff on display there to get their stuff out. I like to see it. Because, I mean, we know we could find Stephen King stuff anywhere. We could find all, like, the top names anywhere. But it's cool. I like seeing these starving artists put on, you know?
Oh yeah.
That's what the whole point of these kind of shows are, I think, personally, for me. And that's what our podcast is about. That's what you guys are about. We like to promote people that are doing cool shit. And whether you're the biggest name in town or you're, a new releasing your first comic book, if it's cool, then people need to see it. And
Yeah, something that always, the new, like new artists, whether it be musicians or actors or, like I said, horror writers, that's what interests me. If something about them interests me, I want to get them on the show. So I want to say, hey, you guys got to check this person out, or you got to check this out.
yeah, exactly.
One last thing I'll say about Crypticon, I don't think there is a single other convention that I've been to like consistently year after year. I've been to Crypticon 4 years in a row now, maybe even 5. And I mean, it's made a bigger impression on me than any other con. I love other forms of pop culture, but like when you have a con that's nothing but horror and like a full like niche interest of mine, I'm all in. And so like there are other cons that I enjoy, but I can't say that I enjoy every aspect of them like I do with Crypticon. Or like you'll go to other cons, you're like, man, I wish there was just like a sliver of horror here. At like maybe a pop culture con that has a mix, but they might not have horror or much of it. Sometimes that's something that I would look for there.
I blame the Funko Pops.
So it's nice to say that like, I mean, Steve talked me into going. He was like, you got to arrange your schedule to where you can go to Crypticon. And I've pretty much gone every year since he had mentioned that to me. And I can't wait to see what we're going to have there next year.
Back to Funko Pops. What's really interesting? I did not see a lot of Funko Pops last year, and the year before there was a handful. This year there wasn't very many because my brother was looking for Funko Pops for Billy to sign. I couldn't find any.
Like out at the Crypticon merch out in the lobby, they had a few, and there was a couple people that made like some custom ones that were pretty cool.
Yeah, but a couple years before they had a vendor just had pops, horror pops.
Billy needs a pop. Needs like one of like Billy with his backpack and Gizmo's head sticking out of it or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I was gonna bring a Gremlins pop for him to sign, but they're all buried in storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them buried in landfills too, apparently. Anyways, with that being said, I speak for all of us. We love Crypticon. We look forward to it every year. We can't wait for next year. Let's do our usual spiel when we wrap the show up and run through all our shit and say bye, I guess. I guess. I like that. I guess. We have to. So yeah, go check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/SteveCrypto. Like I said, I just put up a couple clips from a show I went to last week. We'll talk about some stuff soon. I think it's a little too late to talk about the Godzilla and Kong movie because it sucked anyways, and I forgot all about it.
You fell asleep.
It bored me, and that usually don't happen with Godzilla movies. I took a nap just like he did in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
It was in the theater with a big bucket of popcorn.
The one part you saw was him taking a nap. You're like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm there, bro. So yeah, patreon.com/SteveCrypto. Go there. You can pledge a little as $1 a month to get access to all this stuff. And we do put free stuff up there too. So go subscribe to it either way. We
Head over to
Buy Me a
Etsy.
Coffee.
Oh, Buy
That
Me
too.
a Coffee. Yes.
No, Etsy.
Go check out Etsy. Check out all the merch
Buy Me
we
a
got.
Coffee. Etsy.
Shirts, hoodies. Go to Buy Me a
Buy
Coffee.
Me a Etsy.
Yeah. Go to Etsy and check out the merch. Go to Buy Me a Coffee and support the show. And be sure to follow us online, CryptoZoo88, the Steve Strout. Go to our Facebook group, become a member, keep up with what we're doing, keep up with what other people are doing in the group as well.
Keep up with Mad Bros Media. Go to YouTube, search Mad Bros Media, check out all their videos. They've been doing this for years. And
subscribe
they got a
to
lot
their
of cool
page.
stuff. Subscribe.
Please.
Don't be afraid to go far down into their list of videos as well.
Dig in.
Because you're going to
Lots
find
of
some
stuff.
cool stuff from previous Crypticons. Like maybe you missed a year and you want to see like a Q&A or
find some COVID swapping videos or something cool like that,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're out there.
Watch videos of people coughing on each other. It's great.
And Dana getting drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot at Crypticon. You like horror and you like getting drunk, come to Crypticon. That's the place to be.
That's the party.
I was giving out beer that year when those girls were there. Yeah, so I might have had a hand in that.
And
that's
I
why
have a
Fiona
beer.
kept sounding like Chucky.
Yeah.
You'd hear her like laughing across the vendor hall.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the most important thing to do is go wherever you're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show and leave a rating and review. That's the best way to be heard. And I'm pretty sure that probably works for YouTube as well. So go leave some comments on Mad Bros stuff. Tell them you heard them over here. Thumbs up all their stuff and click that little bell thing so you get alerts when they release new videos, because I feel like they're going to be putting a bunch of shit out here really soon. And it sounds like they got a lot of footage compiled from Crypticon, and I know they've done other cool stuff too. I know they just hung out with the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, no soup for you.
No soup for you. Did
And
you guys
we're
interview
heading
him?
to San Diego in a couple of months? That's the next adventure is San Diego again.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So make sure you're subscribed over there. Subscribed in all our situations, and we thank you guys. And don't forget, tell us ideas for episode 150. We want to make it a big one.
That's right. It's coming up sooner than later.
All right. We will see you guys on 146. Got a rime? We skipped the sixes because 6 rhymes with dicks, and we don't want to make no dick jokes. So we're just gonna get out of
here.
here.
Catch you on 146. Eat a bag of dicks.
There you go. If you're in Seattle, you can.
Yeah.
There you go. Bye, guys.
Peace.